we need to talk about a few things. We need to talk about a few things and kind of figure those things out, man. I'm gonna wait till some of y'all pop in. Wait till some of y'all pop in on this live feed, man. Um, there's a lot of things going on out here that are very questionable. A lot of things are going on in the world today that is very questionable, and we need to have some kind of conversation, some kind of leadership, someone to say, hey, man, what's really going on out here? So that's what we're doing today, man. That's what this live feed is about. Come on, my people. I'm waiting for y'all to pop in. I'm going to wait on my people to chime in on this, man. That's what we're going to do. Shout out to YouTube as well, man. Be sure to like and subscribe to my channel. Do all those things. But what is going on in the world today, man? What is really going on with these pastors in the church? Like, I mean, you see this pastor, he was 63 years old. 63 years old, and he married a young lady in the congregation. And a lot of people are excusing it, saying, she's of age or whatever. Yeah, of course she's of age. She's 18 years old, but this pastor of the church is 63 years old. And he watched this young lady grow up in his church, man. What was he doing when she was 15, 16, 17 years old? What was the relationship with them then? It didn't just happen all of a sudden when she turned the age of 18 and he decided, you know what, I'm gonna marry you. No, this relationship had been brewing. And if I know y'all have seen this online already, I know y'all done covered it. Pastor Dwight Reed, I done seen it everywhere, and I just wanted to give my take on it, man. I'm gonna let some more of y'all come on in, man, because it's a conversation to have. It is a conversation to have, and we gonna have it. we definitely gonna have the conversation. But to me, man, I just find it real strange, man, that leaders of these churches, quote unquote pastors, that they give their names, they call themselves pastors, bishops, evangelists, and all these things, right? But some of these pastors are questionable. They're very questionable, man. Like, what brings you to a congregation? You're supposed to go to this congregation to receive the word of God. You're supposed to go to these congregations and look up to these pastors as the one that's going to give you the word of God and quote unquote be an example of how to live and how to be, and practice your morals and things of that nature. But here lately, man, we've been seeing a lot of pastors, man. We've been seeing a lot of pastors do some questionable stuff. Very questionable stuff. And you have people in the church, man, that just allow it. They just allow it, and it continues to happen over and over again. So my question is, why does the congregation allow these things to go on? Why don't the congregation call these pastors out? Why don't the congregation say, man, you know what? Something not right about this. Something is not right about this. This pastor married a young 18-year-old girl. And Pastor Dwight Reed, off of his church, they have some kind of school program or whatever where these young ladies go to, man. And they graduate. And if you haven't seen the video, I got a video posted on my YouTube channel, the latest video that I done posted about this current situation. And, it goes into more detail of what's going on. And it's strange to me that the congregation allows this. They sit back and they allow this type of behavior coming from the pastor of the church, the leader of the church, and I believe that it's kind of disrespecting God. I believe that is making a mockery out of God, making a mockery out of the church. And I truly believe it's just Satan at play. It has to be Satan at play, because if it wasn't Satan at play, you know what I mean? It'll be upright. It'll be righteous. And a lot of people making the excuse of, well, the girl, she's of age. Yeah, she's barely of age, 18. We all know that 18 is the legal age where they say, oh, she's grown. They're grown, right? Yeah, of course. But at the same time, we all know that's a baby. We all know that's a baby, man. That young lady doesn't know anything about life. She still needs to be coached and guided and protected. And I really feel like, the congregation let her down by allowing this type of behavior to go on. You know, I, it's crazy that they allowed this type of behavior to go on. And she's still a baby, man. This guy is 63 years old. And like I said again, my question is, what was going on between them when she was 15, when she was 16, when she was 17, and he married her at 18. So they had to have some kind of established relationship way before. They had to have some type of established relationship way before, man. And it's sad that we sit back and we have to watch these things unfold in front of our eyes from the church house, man, from the place that where we're supposed to go and worship God, feed our spirit and stuff like that. But we have pastors of these congregations taking full advantage of people in the congregation, man. And these days and times, man, some people are so spiritually blinded. So many people are spiritually blinded, man. And God spoke on this. They spoke on this in the Bible. It said it's gonna be times when things rise up, man, and you gotta pay attention and you gotta know what you're really looking at. God, he's not gonna allow that type of behavior. Brian Leon, the parents allowed it. Yeah, the parents allowed it. What do you mean? But the girl is 18 years old. Yeah, it seems like the parents allowed it, but does that make it right? Does that make it right? And that's the excuse. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if you have children or not. I don't know if you have daughters or not, and things of that nature. When some of these kids get turned 18, they kind of like, man, I'm gonna do whatever I want to do. But does that make it right? You're still supposed to be there, protect, love, guide, nourish these young adults into full adulthood. Just age don't really make you an adult. Like, I know some grown men that are fully grown men, but their characteristics and their morals and their principles, they still act on a level of immaturity. So what is going on with this congregation to allow this? And if you haven't watched the video, man, go to my channel, check out the video, and you can hear like the congregation applauding it and just going along with it. What has happened? Where are the elders in the church? Where are the people that's going to stand up and say, this is not right, this is wrong? You know what I'm saying? What happened to those days? You say, Brian Leon, I wouldn't have allowed it. Exactly. I wouldn't have allowed it either. And every adult that's in the church, man, adults in the church, they shouldn't allow it either. They shouldn't allow it either, man, because morally it's wrong. Morally, it is wrong. And if you look at some of these pastors that are very questionable, you could throw a number of them out there. T.D. Jakes, for one. You could throw Benny Hinn. You could throw Joel Osteen. You could throw all these Creflo Dollar, all these questionable pastors, right? That have these histories of scandals and things of that nature, man. If you look into their background, it's been going on for years. And like with them, it's like they got this status now. They have a status, and people continue to look up to them and praise them like they're God and stuff like that of that nature. But one thing I learned in life, you never understand until it hits home, right? You never understand until it hits home. So now we have this pastor that marries this young woman. And I asked these people, like, of the congregation, like, what if it was your daughter? Would you allow your 18-year-old daughter? She just turned 18. Would you allow your 18-year-old daughter to marry the pastor of this church, the leader of this congregation? Come on, is it morally right? We know that this young lady's still a baby. She didn't know what she was doing. And in the video, the pastor even said, people hating on me. But if we was in the streets, they'll say that she made a come up. She ain't got nothing to worry about. She well taken care of. So what, pastor, you still living worldly? That was a clear sign to me. That was a clear sign to me when he asked the question, or not even asked the question, he specified, oh, she came up. She came, what she mean she came up? And that's the thing, man. Like, some of these pastors are so worldly now. When did the pastors start walking in the worldliness. We all know that, everyone is human. Every man falls short and all this stuff, right? We learned this growing up. We know this already. But at the end of the day, these are supposed to be people that set the example of the way to live in the world that we are living in now today. And the world that we're living in now today is so wild. It's spinning crazy out of control. And people don't flock to the real truth anymore. People don't sustain the real truth anymore. They're so busy focusing on what's popular. They're focusing on what's the world going. No, you're supposed to hold fast. You're supposed to hold steadfast on what's going on in the world and break it down and point out things that we shouldn't be doing. Some pastors don't even speak against the truth. Some pastors don't even speak against the truth. Some pastors don't even speak against sin. Some pastors, if you got to start listening to these pastors and what's coming out. You know what I mean? Some pastors don't even refer to the Bible. They're not breaking down scriptures, not doing anything. This pastor, for instance, looks like he was in the business of grooming this young lady up to be his wife as soon as she turned 18. For the life of me, I couldn't understand it. I couldn't understand it. And people in the congregation are applauding and wishing them well and things of that nature. And that's why today we have so many pastors doing whatever it is that they want to do, living in their sinful nature right in front of us. And it says in the Bible, it said there's going to become a time when these evil forces will rise up, right? It said there's going to come a time when these evil forces are going to rise up. So people love to go to church and they quote unquote, they love to read the scripture and they can break all these scriptures down to you and repeat them and remember them and stuff like that. But it's like they fall off at the wayside, man. They don't sustain the truth off in those scriptures. And I'm just sitting back looking at it like, what is really going on? What is really going on here? We have to get back on track of really following the true gospel, following the true leaders of Christ, following the men that are going to lead us in the right direction, not some of these pastors that say homosexuality is okay. How can you even say homosexuality is okay when clearly the Bible states that it's not? So you're going against the very word that you're sitting up here preaching, brother. Going against the very words that you're sitting up here preaching. And you got members of the congregation that steady flock to the church, and they're sitting here listening to these sermons that do nothing for them. And many pastors just want to build you up, to get you on their side, to make you feel all warm and bubbly inside. Let me tell y'all something. One thing about the truth, man. Let me tell y'all one thing about the truth. The truth ain't always pleasant. The truth don't always feel good. The truth ain't always just, so glitter and glam. You know what I'm saying? The truth gets ugly at times. But see, nowadays, man, it's very rarely when you go to a church and you follow some of these pastors, man, that you hear the truth of God, man. And the thing that I've been really paying attention to, a lot of pastors are just right in our face. And I believe that it's the devil at work. It's the devil at work, man. And they continue to praise these pastors. They continue to support these pastors, knowing, seeing with their own eyes what's going on. Because it's the pastor, they deem it as okay. The God is going to hold these pastors. Jesus is going to hold these pastors more accountable, like we should be doing here on earth. Is holding these pastors accountable. Just because he's the pastor of the church, that don't mean that he can do any and everything that he want to do. Yeah, just because he's the pastor of the church don't mean he can do anything that he ever want to do. Have you ever heard the term of who's policing the police? Who's making sure the police is doing what the police? Well, who is making sure the pastor? Who is make sure the pastor is doing what he is supposed to do? That's what I want to know. Who's making sure that the pastor is doing what he want to do? Because at the end of the day, if y'all look at this and break it down, it's wrong. It's morally wrong. You ain't no way you can get around that. Ain't no way you can get around that. This man sit there and he sought out. He watched this young lady grow up. So what was the relationship before? What was the relationship before? They say she been off in the church since she was like 9 years old or something like that. So what was the relationship before? Can you tell me? Can you tell me? So all of a sudden, once she turned 18, they were just in love and they just got married. No, what was going on in the church, and I got to be careful of the words that I say here on YouTube because, we got to follow the YouTube guidelines, man. But y'all know what was going on before that marriage happened. Y'all know what was going on before that marriage happened, man. Didn't know they let EP out of jail. What's up, man? Hey, you got to be strong for the internet, man. But anyway, y'all know what was going on, with this pastor and this young lady before they got married, before she turned 18. And it's sad to say that the church allowed it. Why did the church allow something like this to go on? There's a lot of things going on inside the church house, and we need to watch some of these pastors when they're acting questionable, when they seem like they ain't got the truth in them no more, but they hold all the power because they're the leader of the church, they're the pastor of the church, so people still look up to them. No, we got to hold these pastors accountable just like they gonna hold you accountable. Yeah, cats and more cats. Yeah, just like they gonna hold you accountable, we got to hold them accountable as well. Because guaranteed, the opposition, TD Jakes. Oh man, listen, man, the opposition, man. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, if you haven't viewed my channel, I got a lot of videos on Mr. TD Jakes, man. I got a lot of videos on TD Jakes. You are so right, my little brother. Thank you for that, man. Make sure y'all click and hit that like button, man. Let's get some more people in here, man. Y'all know how the YouTube algorithm works, man. Make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, man. We got to get some more people to join in on this live because this is a very serious conversation to be had. Very serious conversation to be had, man. So my thing on this is like sitting back watching it, right? And having daughters of my own. And I don't know if any of y'all have daughters out there. I don't know if any of y'all have daughters out there, man, but it's a sad thing to see. Robert Sterling talking nonsense. How sad. How's that nonsense? If you have daughters, and see, this is the thing about it, man. We have some people in the world, that still, they just carry on with nonsense. They don't look at things morally anymore. They wait till things hit the fan clearly for them. Somebody like Mr. Robert Sterling, perhaps he waits till something hits the fan and something terribly goes wrong in his life. And then those are the type of people, then they run to God. Then they want the right thing to happen for them to get them out of the certain situation that they're in. But in the meanwhile, if nothing's happening to them, anybody that's close to him, they don't really care about what's going on in the world. They don't really care about what's going on in the world if it's not affecting them. But this the sad truth about it is nowadays people don't even realize that we put on this earth together. We were sent here together to prosper and help build one another up instead of just turning a blind eye when we see something wrong or some things that are going on in the congregations like this with the 60-year-old man marrying an 18-year-old girl, and some people still make a mockery out of it too much. Some people make a mockery out of it too much. Get to the point. Just get to the point. I talk too much. Come on, man. What I'm supposed to do? I ain't supposed to talk. And see, that's the thing about it is, man, I done got to the point. I'm sorry if you just now tapped into the live. Get to the point, man. The point is, it's morally wrong for this 63-year-old pastor to marry this 18-year-old girl. It's wrong. I want to hear some of y'all opinions. I'm gonna ask y'all a question, and I'm gonna wait for you. I'm gonna wait for the feed, man. I'm gonna ask y'all a question. Was it okay for this 63-year-old man to marry this 18-year-old girl? I want to know. I want to know, was it okay for this 63-year-old man to marry? Now, not just the man, was it okay for this 63-year-old pastor to marry this 18-year-old girl just because she is legally grown? Huh? Just because she is legally grown. And then another thing, I'm gonna ask you that question. Then this is another thing I want you to do, because you got some men that'll say, yeah, she 18, she grown, right? But then I want you to revert back to, if you have a daughter, and if you have a daughter, would you allow this to happen with your daughter? Y'all been going to this church all this time, right? Y'all been going to this church since she was a little girl, right? She's a little girl. She been going to this church. Y'all members of this church. And this pastor up there, you know, he been preaching to y'all all this time. And then your daughter becomes of age and he marries her. He wants to marry her. So you telling me it's okay? So that's what you telling me, it's okay? Come on, man. Come on, man. Y'all gotta make it make sense to me, man. I don't understand. Hold up, black, white, was it wrong for Jay-Z and Aaliyah? Yes, it was wrong. Yes, it was. And see, a lot of people don't even know the truth behind all that, man. It was Jay-Z with Aaliyah, and then Dame Dash and R. Kelly. It wasn't just R. Kelly. Everybody keeps thinking R. Kelly is the only one with Aaliyah. Yeah, he married her when she was 15 years old, and he was wrong, but also Jay-Z. And that's the problem between Jay-Z and Dame Dash now, because Dame Dash found out that Jay-Z was messing with Aaliyah. Yeah. So it's deeper than rap, man. But we ain't even on that right now. What we got to start doing is holding these people accountable. Holding these people accountable, man. It don't get no simpler than that, man. But see, this the thing about it. Long as ain't nothing affecting these people or that person or even you, like sometimes people tend to shy away from it. People tend to shy away from it. And then when things hit the fan, they be like, oh man, Skip Tech, this is new to me, brother. Yeah, man, it's new to you and kind of old to some, man. It just recently popped back up. Yeah, it just recently popped back up, man. Hey, do me a favor, man. If y'all haven't hit that like button, make sure y'all hit that like button, man, for we can keep spinning this thing in the algorithm, man. Y'all know how this YouTube stuff works. I got to watch. I really want to go in on this, man, but I got to watch the words that I say. I got to watch the words that I say, man. But this is the thing, man. Morally, is it right? Not at all. And for the pastor to do it, for the pastor to do it, yeah, it's all weird stuff. You ain't lying. And the devil has penetrated the churches, man. The devil has penetrated the churches so much that people are blind to it, right? The greatest thing that Satan never pulled over the world is to convince them that he don't exist, right? That's the greatest con that the devil then did. So now the devil is able to go up in the church. He's able to walk right up to the pulpit, open up the Bible, and he's able to preach these scriptures to y'all and not preach them in a way that's going to be fundamental to y'all. He's not going to preach them in the way that Jesus would have preached them to us. He's not following the priesthood. And the devil is right in front of our face, man. The devil is right in front of our face. The devil has taken control of the church completely, Jermaine. Yeah, man, for real, the devil has really taken control of the church, man. I don't want to give him credit. I don't want to give the devil all the credit and say that he didn't took full control, but he's definitely in that thing, man. The devil is in that thing and he working, man. Especially in these days and times, man, it's 2024. We don't even hold on to old principles anymore. Prophecy, yes, it's a prophecy, but they said it was going to become a time when all these things would start happening. Come on, man. They said it was going to come a time when all these things started happening. And here they are right in front of our face. They're happening. over and over again. This pastor did that. This pastor did that. And people are just still there stuck. They still there stuck on stupid. Just looking up to the pastor like he's the next thing to Jesus, right? No, he's not the next thing to Jesus. That's what happened. I believe that's part of the problem, that people started worshiping the pastors more. Huh? They started worshiping the pastors more than Jesus himself. And that's when we went off course. We went off course right there, man. I know y'all probably looking at me like, man, who is this guy to talk about all this stuff, man? Let me tell you something about me, man. I done been through some things, man. I done been through some things and I done seen some things, man. And you know, I used to pray for God to bring me up out of them things, man. I've been on a good streak, man, for about 15 years now, man. So I could tell you all about this street life and all that old stuff, man. Like all that stuff is trash, and all the things that are going on in the world today are trash. Ain't none of that stuff good for you. You need to find you a good relationship with God. You know, find you a good relationship with God and let him lead you in the right direction. But this pastor's wrong. When I seen this, man, I had to say something. Yeah, I couldn't let it go by. I even waited. I say, man, do I want to go live and speak on this? Do I want to go live and speak on this? And I played with it for about 2 or 3 days, man. And I just came back from vacation. I say, man, you know what? I gotta say something about that. I gotta say something about that, man, because it's not right at the end of the day. And if you go back, and watch the video, right? Go to my channel and watch that video, man. It should be the latest video that I done posted. And you will hear this pastor, this cocky pastor. You got to go listen to his sermon about this. He's defending himself on this situation here, man. How can you defend yourself in this situation here? And then you'll hear the people in the background. You'll hear the people in the congregation clapping. But yeah, man, facts, King Giant, facts. Ain't none in these streets but the devil. Hey, that's the devil's playground. That is the devil's playground, man. And this pastor, even off in the video, this pastor say, if we was in the streets, y'all say she made a come up. What you mean? We ain't in the streets, pastor. Yeah, man, this Dwight Reed, man. Pastor Dwight Reed said out of his own mouth, if we was in the streets, y'all just be saying that she made a come up. She ain't got to worry about nothing. No, what happened was you groomed this young lady. Yeah, that's what you did. You took control of this young lady's mind. That's what you did. You manipulated this young lady. That's what you did. You know what I'm saying? That young girl ain't worried about no 63-year-old man. Come on, man. That young girl ain't worried about no 63-year-old man. You know what I'm saying? All them young boys running around now. You think she want to be with you? No, man, that's manipulation at its finest. That's con artists at its finest, man. Y'all got to be able to understand that and really sit back and know what you're looking at. Yeah, you got to know what you're looking at, man, when you're dealing with these situations and you seeing all this stuff going on around you. You got to be able to jump outside the box. Jump outside the box and look back into it and really peep what's going on. Really peep what's going on. And a lot of people nowadays, they just go with the flow. They just go with the flow. Don't just go with the flow. We got to stop just going with the flow, man. If that current don't feel right and you can't ride that surfbird nice and smooth, man, you need to jump off that current, man. Don't ride that wave. Don't ride that wave, man. And then you have so many things going on in the world now and today, man. You better off just staying at home. Yeah. So many things going on in the world that you better off just staying at home. He said, Vernon Ma, now you just saying something. We are worshiping leaders instead of God or Christ. He sounds a little stupid on top of it. Yeah, for real, man. For real. I'm glad to see that somebody, a few people understand what I'm trying to say here. The pastors of the congregations are being praised and worshiped. And I believe I believe that Bible, it speaks on worshiping false idols, right? Yeah, I believe the Bible refers to that as worshiping false idols. You know what I mean? And so many people do it nonchalant, don't even know that they're doing it. but they go to church every day, almost every Wednesday Bible study, Thursday Bible study, prayer circles and all this old stuff, Sunday. Oh man, they go to church so much and they still can't recognize what's going on in front of them. They still can't recognize what's going on in front of them. They say, I became Muslim because of this. And you know, whatever your preference is in religion, that's good for you. I tell people all the time, man, you know, between the Christian and Muslim thing and stuff like that, man, people always get like in a war. God don't want us to fight. It's only one true God. It is only one true God. And if that God, if the God that you're saying you're worshiping condones this, nah, that ain't the true God. If any God that they say that their worship condones this type of behavior, says that this behavior is okay, that homosexuality is okay, and all this stuff, you even got pastors in the church that are part of the LGBTQ2, whatever, the alphabet community. They are part of the alphabet community. And how is that even possible? How is that even possible? See, it's like one thing leads to another. One thing leads to another. And they say no sin is greater than the next, right? Everybody falls short and all these things. Okay, if that's the case, if we get a pastor that's falling short, we need to get him up out the pulpit and get him replaced with somebody that's up, a righteous pastor, a righteous man, somebody that's willing to do the right thing and sacrifice their pride, you know, throw those worldly things away. We need to get those pastors back in the pulpit. Back in the day, but that's the thing about it. A lot of these things been going on for so long. If you sit with some of your elders, some of your elder people, man, they can tell you stories about what was going on back then and all this stuff, man. It's been going on, but the problem is that nobody gets held accountable. There's no consequences for the actions. Everybody just keep going to church and keep praising this pastor and giving them all their money. What is going on, man? What is really going on? A lot of these pastors, they just want your money. Yeah, a lot of these pastors just want your money. They fatten their pocket, and the pastor try to get you to pay your tithes. When does the pastor pay his tithes? That's what I want to know. When do all these pastors, these mega churches, when they gonna pay their tithes? What do they do with their money? They just tuck it away. They buy the new latest Mercedes Benz. They get the $3.5 million home. That's what these pastors doing with their money. But they'll tell you, make sure you pay your tithes. God gonna bless you. You pay your tithes. I believe if your heart is in the right place, God gonna bless you anyway, man. God is gonna bless you anyway if your heart is in the right place. And just because this pastor telling you, oh man, make sure you pay your tithes, God ain't gonna bless you. How you gonna tell me what God ain't gonna do for me? How you gonna tell me what God ain't gonna do for me? See, this the thing about it is, and I tell people this all the time, you can pay your tithes with your good deeds out in the world to these communities, right? So when I'm flying all over the place and I'm visiting this place, man, I walk up to strangers. Here you go, man. If I'm eating and then I see some homeless people, man, I'm gonna buy them food. So you can pay your tithes other than just putting that money off in that church house, man. You can pay your tithes other ways, brother. Being good to others around you. I believe that's paying your tithes. See, some of these leaders of these churches, they just want you to give them the money. Well, what are they doing with the money? What are they doing with the money? And I'm not saying this for all pastors, because we do have some out here. Beautiful. That's exactly how you're supposed to use your tithe. Exactly what you said. You are supposed to lend to the Spirit of God. Everything you're saying is absolutely correct. Thank you for that, ma'am. I appreciate that. But that's the end of the day, man. Let's help out people. That's what I consider my tithes, man. I'm spending my money on people that I don't even know. People that I'm not expecting nothing back from them. You know what I'm saying? Especially because I travel a lot. You know what I'm saying? Y'all don't know none of my business, but I travel a lot. So I'm always, you know, in these different cities and states and stuff like this. I'm never gonna see these people again, right? So this is from the heart. I'm not expecting nothing back. I'm paying my tithes that way, man. And what's crazy, I'm gonna tell y'all a story. I forgot where we was at. Anyway, we was at a Subway, and it was a couple homeless people outside the Subway. So, me and my wife, we in there eating and stuff like that. Dude came in and he was just trying to get some water. They wouldn't let him get no water. You know what I'm saying? So what I do, I took it upon myself. I tell him to go get your friends outside, man. Tell them to come in and y'all order whatever it is y'all want. And I looked up at the dude at the register. I say, they with me. I got them. You know what I'm saying? And then they started looking at me strange, like, who is he? See, when people do kind acts now in this world today that we living in, when people act morally and righteous and do the right thing, people look at them crazy. They see it's opposite. People look at you crazy for doing the right thing. So someone even like me, man, I get a lot of backlash. You hear me? I get a lot of backlash for speaking on the truth of things. The truth of things. You know, they say being real, that'll be your gift and your curse. It'll be your gift and your curse, man. I'm telling you, man, a lot of people don't like the truth nowadays. A lot of people don't like what's righteous nowadays. A lot of people don't like what's good nowadays, man. D Block 88, what up, homie? They will never understand. No, they will never understand. See, they will never understand. One thing I know for sure, the best way for them to understand, if they was able to trade places and some of these things start happening to them, that's the only way they'll be able to understand, man. And listen, I ain't perfect. I'm not perfect, right? He said, you have a big heart. I respect you for your honesty. I feel the same way you do. Appreciate it, man. Miss Jennifer Jones, appreciate it, man. If y'all can do me a favor, man, make sure y'all hit that like button, man, before we can get the YouTube algorithm to spin this around the block. Y'all already know how that YouTube algorithm works. Make sure y'all hit that like button, man. Keep on before we can keep rolling. But anyway, back to what I was saying. A lot of these pastors in these congregations, man, they're greedy. They're all self-efficient. They just all for themselves like this. I'm back to the topic of this video, man. This 63-year-old man took it upon himself. 63-year-old man took it upon himself to marry an 18-year-old member of his congregation. And I go back and I say this, what were they doing before she was able and she was legally eligible to marry him? Because at 18, she's still a baby. By law, yeah, she's 18. They say she grown, but we all know when our kids turn grown, they still need us as parents. Yeah, when our kids turn 18, they don't mean they know everything about life. You know what I'm saying? They don't understand that, man. They don't understand when a young man or woman turns 18 years old, don't mean that they're fully grown. They don't know nothing about the world, man. So just because she was legally of age, come on, man. Some people justifying this as, oh, she was old enough to do it. Ain't nothing wrong with it. She's of age. Well, put your daughter in that situation. That's all I'm saying, man. Put your daughter in that situation and then see how you feel about it. They're still a child. D Block 88. Yes, indeed. Still a child, man. Come on, man. I got babies off inside right now. You know what I'm saying? I got children inside right now. 121, 118, 117. Come on, man. So you mean to tell me that they're fairly functional and grown adults, they know everything about life, that they don't need our guidance and support no more? Come on, man. Come on, man. Really 21 grown. Yeah, you can say that too. I got a 21-year-old in there right now. Yeah, he grown. He legally grown, but he's still depending on daddy and mama to lead and guide and support. You know what I'm saying? I'm blessed to have children, you know, that are in college and stuff like that, man. We got 3 in college right now. You know what I'm saying? Hello, this is from Brazil. Shout out to Brazil, man. I'm not even going to try to pronounce your name, but shout out to Brazil. Nah, they need their parents. You know they need their parents, Miss Hunter. Miss Hunter, they need their parents, man. You know what I'm saying? And also they need their grandparents as well. They need their grandparents as well. Rodney Stewart, he's sick. We all know that. We all know that. He's sick, man. What's going on with this pastor, man? I don't understand. Pastor Dwight Reed, look him up. And if you haven't watched the full video of that, go to my YouTube channel, man. Go to my YouTube channel. I have a video of Mr. Dwight Reed trying to defend himself. And also in that same video, I put his niece spoke out about it, right? His niece has spoke out about the situation and how the family feels as well. We have to watch our children even in the church. Yes, ma'am. Even in the church. And I tell people this all the time. Church is a place that the devil knows he can attack, because these are the people that are trying to get close to God. You think he ain't gonna keep that number one? You think Satan ain't gonna keep that the number one place he wants to attack? He wants to tear down the church. That's the number one spot, man. That's the number one spot. They have to know. They have to know what's going on. The devil is full at play here. Full at play here. Anytime you hear about any kind of scandals in the church, anytime you hear about any of these pastors doing any kind of wrong things in the church, that's the devil. That's the devil, man. That is the devil right there. It ain't no other way around that. Ain't no other way around that. It's a crying shame. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. It's a crying shame, man. And we continue to see these things over and over again. And as we continue to wrap this live up, man, we're going to go into other conversations, right? Let's talk about Mr. Pastor T.D. Jakes. Oh, hey, look, man, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, go to my channel, hit that subscribe button, man, and check out the videos that I have on Mr. T.D. Jakes, man. I've been riding on him for so long, and people are just still sweeping everything that he's doing under the rug, right? Under the rug. That's crazy, man. Fake as hell. You already know it. You already know it, man. It's a lot of things going on out in this world that we need to start paying attention to. And like the young lady said in her comment, we have to start watching our children, even in the church. Mokio in. But at some point, common sense should come into play on the girl's part. It's not like she's 12. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. D Block, appreciate that subscribe, my brother. Yes, ma'am. You have to come to your common sense as well. But at the same time, sweetie, even grown women, right? Even grown women. I just want to say this, Mioka. I want to say this, but sometimes even grown women get wrapped up so much in a man that they're blinded to the abuse that they're suffering. Don't go, Miss Mioka, come back to me. Sometimes even grown women get blinded by the abuse that they suffer. So just imagine this young girl. Don't know nothing about life. She been up in this church since she was a little kid. She been watching this pastor preach to her since she was a little kid. So, okay, Mioka, I'm here. Okay, that's what I'm saying. Okay, baby girl, let's have a conversation. You have some grown women that get trapped in relationships with men, and that program, and this man has so much control over their mind. If he was to tell her that the sky was green, she'll believe him. So I don't fault this young lady. I don't fault this young 18-year-old girl, right? If you look at the picture, she's smiling and all this stuff here. She's confused. That baby confused, man. Come on, man. That baby is confused. That baby don't know what to do. That baby needs some kind of guidance. That baby needs some type of protection. That baby needs some kind of person to go talk to her and say, baby, look, we didn't let you down. Yeah. Brainwash, Rodney Stewart. Yeah. Somebody need to go talk to that young lady and say, look, baby, we let you down. This not right. Praying on the weak. It's a damn shame. Yes, praying on the weak. You better preach, because you absolutely correct. Some of us grown women out here are dealing with abuse right now. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. And that's the thing about it too, man. I get a lot of backlash for some of these fellas, right? When I had conversations about that too, about how the man is supposed to be the leader, right? He's supposed to lead, guide, protect, and all that good stuff, right? The man's job is to really sustain the woman, to keep her in her feminine energy, to lead her in the right direction, to guide her, protect her, and love her truly. And only real men can understand that. So when I get some of these guys, they be like, oh man, you a simp, you this, you that. Well, what about your daughter? So it's going to be okay? It's going to be okay for one of these fellas to come in and do your daughter any kind of way? Appreciate it, Anthony Rodriguez. Appreciate it, brother. Look, man, if y'all haven't hit that like button, man, to keep it going. If y'all haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button, man. But at the end of the day, like I was saying, man, a man's job here on earth is to be a leader, to be a protector, to be a provider, someone that's going to guide the women, the children in the right direction. And I believe when the men stop doing that, when the men stop doing that, that's when everything went crazy. Then after that, the woman is lost. Now the woman is dealing with all these young kids, all these young girls that they're raising, all the young boys that they're raising. Now they all off in this together. They lost. You know, they lost, and then life is going to keep hitting you. This man is to cover his wife and protect her and his children. Yeah, the man, yeah, that's what he's supposed to do and lead them in the right direction. A lot of these men that took, I want to say they done took advantage of being a man. Yeah, that may sound crazy to some, man, but some men have took advantage of being the man. You know, I do what I want to do and I treat you however I want to treat you, and it's okay because I'm a man. Well, no, it's not okay. And this is the thing about it, man. For any man that believes that's okay, I'm sorry to tell you, brother, you're wrong. For any man that believes that is okay, you're wrong. Victor Johnson, I'd rather have an 18-year-old than an older trampy lady. Look, man. Should I respond to that, y'all? Y'all respond to that. Victor Johnson said he'd rather have an 18-year-old than an older trampy lady. Come on, man. I don't. All right, brother. Melchio, did this young lady express any past trauma? I don't know. We really ain't heard her side of the story, man. We really ain't heard that lady's side of the story. That young lady's side of the story. It's almost as if she's been muted. You know what I'm saying? It's almost as if this young lady has been quiet. He don't even let this little girl talk. He don't even, yeah, man. So we don't know how she really feels. You know, a smiling face. A smiling face ain't always a smiling face, man. I'm going to just let that sink in. A smiling face ain't always a smiling face. I'm going to tell you that. Some of these young ladies and even these grown women, you know, some of them, you know, they put that smile on their face, man. It's to help them cope with their situation, I guess. But every smiling face ain't a smiling face. You can see someone smiling at you on the inside, they toe up. They don't know what's going on. They don't know what's going on. Got it. Appreciate you, Mioka. Thank you. I think something should be done with the pastor that married that young lady. This should be against the law. And yeah, morally, Miss Watson. Yes. But this is how they justify it. Oh, she 18. She 18. What that mean? My daughter 18. She in the house. You know? She's still crying about grades in college and stuff like that. Yeah. So just because she 18, that don't make them grown. That don't make them grown. In the state of Texas, they say 18, you grown. If that's crazy, if that's the case, they need to be paying bills and all this old stuff. Man, 18, they still a baby, man. They adolescent. They don't know nothing about life. They don't know nothing about life. Nothing about life, man. And this pastor of this congregation, he's so wrong. He is so wrong, man, and out of line. And anybody that's justifying the behavior, I just want to say this. Anybody that's justifying the behavior, that is a clear red flag that you need to check yourself. That is a clear red flag that you need to do some soul searching yourself. That is a clear red flag that you're not thinking with the right mindset. If you're justifying this behavior, that's what I'm saying. If you think it's okay, you need to go do some self-evaluating. Self-evaluating, man. Yeah, anybody that justify this type of behavior, man, they must have got no kids of their own. Boy, it sure pays to be single at peace. I hear you, sister. I hear you, sister. And you know what's crazy? Nowadays, it's sad to say, if you're not already in a committed, loving relationship and you found a good spouse, nowadays it's better for you to be by yourself. If you haven't already found love, if you haven't already met that significant other that builds you up and keeps, man, you should just stay single, girl. I'm telling you, because there's so much stuff going on in the world nowadays, you don't know who you're dealing with. You don't know who you're dealing with. He said, tell my girlfriend to pipe. Oh, man, I'm a grunt. Women don't even her body. Yeah, a woman. Yeah, that young lady, she don't even know her body. At 18, she don't even know her body yet. How old is she? Oh, come on, somebody. You late, baby. She was 18. 18 and he's 63. Yeah. Come on, man. You got to make it make sense to me, man. My girlfriend is listening but not watching. Well, this the thing about it, man. We got to stay in a moral mind frame. Nowadays, a lot of people have left the moral mind frame. And the mind frame that they're using now is just what's going on in the world. What's going on and what is everybody else doing? I mean, have you listened to some of the music that's being played nowadays? Have you? It sure is. A lot of black women are unalive. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I'm telling you. I'm glad to see. I'm glad. I want to hear some more comments from my ladies, man. I want to hear some comments from my ladies, my dear women, because I believe that the women in that church, Mr. Dwight Reed's church, I believe that the women in that church let that young lady die. Y'all need to stop hating on young fly. Listen, is it okay to be gay? Come on, man. What's the Bible say? What do you mean? I can't believe people still ask that question. I can't believe some of the people in the church house still ask that question if it's okay to be gay, if it's okay to be homosexual, when the Bible clearly breaks that down for you. The Bible already answered that question for you. How does her father feel about it? If her father doesn't have a problem with it, why do you? And see, that's the thing. That's the thing. What mind frame is her daddy in? Yeah, her daddy can be a crackhead. Her daddy can be an alcoholic. Her daddy can be doing the same thing that this pastor doing, running after young women. What do you mean? So just because her daddy say it's okay, it's okay? Come on, man. I need people with a moral mind frame, man. I need people with a moral mind frame. They got some wisdom up there. Let's really think about the situation. Not just, oh, is she 18 or her daddy don't have a problem with it? Why do you? Man, listen here. Every young lady that's my daughter age or in that age precisely, when I see them out here in the world, man, I still view, I see my daughter. Yeah. When I see them young ladies like that, I see my daughter. What would I tell my daughter? You know, what advice would I give my daughter? See, that's the thing about it. That's the thing about it, man. People, that's selfish. I just want to say that. That is selfish. That's selfishness at its full force. You know what I'm saying? Oh, it ain't your business. Don't worry about it. Yeah, I hear you. I hear you on that. It ain't my business. It ain't your business. Nobody business. But I get all that, right? But when I see them young ladies like that, I see my daughter. Yeah, I see my daughter. And that's why I bring this type of conversation to the table. I think we're suffering from no father complex. Yeah. And that's the thing about it. How do we know that this young lady had a father? We don't know that. We do not know that. I don't think she did, because she was part of the church, whatever congregation, schooling, putting the young ladies through school. I think it was a young lady that, you know, she didn't have nobody. So I think that's what went on. My daughter couldn't come home with those 60-year-old men talking about they ready to get married. Now, you feel me? Come on, man. How does that happen? Oh, mom and daddy, I want y'all to meet Mr. Gerald. This Mr. Gerald right here. He's 60 years old. I know I'm 18 now. Y'all know I'm grown. I can do Mr. Gerald gonna take care of me. Man, what is you? Girl, if you don't get in here and shut that door, and Mr. Gerald, if you don't get your butt from in front of my door, that's what should have happened. Man, if you don't get on Mr. Gerald, this girl 18. Ain't no way you marrying her. And the people in that congregation, that's the thing. The people in that congregation let that little lady die. The people in that congregation let that lady die. Oh, man, they let that little girl down, man. And it's sad to see. It's sad to see, man. And the preacher, he's just so cocky about it. The White Reed's just so cocky about that. It's like he did a big thing. It's like man, what is going on in the world today, man? What is going on in the world today, man? I love y'all thoughts and y'all opinion, man. I appreciate y'all for tapping in on the live, man, and commenting. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate y'all, man. D-Block, he was dating the girl when she was 14 or 15. So, yeah, of course. That's what I said. I said that in the beginning. So before she turned 18, right? Yeah, let's keep a level head. One of the most level head people on earth. Oh, appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. Yeah, that's what I was saying, though. What was happening before she turned 18? You should have seen all these half-naked prom pics these girls were posting, which disappointed. Yeah, man, that's what I'm saying. These young ladies out here, man, they're not being guided in the right direction no more. Nobody is pointing them in the right direction. Nobody is leading them in the right direction, man. It's crazy out here. And most of the dudes, they want to be pimps, players, and gangsters and all that old shit. They ain't going to do nothing for you. That's nothing good for you, brother. So it's leaving all these young children growing up. Just because the dad is there don't mean he's there, if that makes sense to you. Just because that man is inside the home don't mean that he's doing his duties correctly. That's all I'm saying. Don't mean he's doing his duties correctly. He might just be sitting back smoking all the time, playing a video game. Mama going to work, paying all the bills. So you just can't say just because he's in the home that she had a daddy. You know, that's just the title. See, it's work that come behind that title. We're going to speak on it today. Listen, man, if you didn't come for the real, then you could click off the live right now. If real ain't what you want to hear, because we ain't doing this for no other reason. We doing this for the real. That's all I'm saying. We doing this for the real, man. Hey, and if y'all haven't hit that subscribe button, make sure y'all tap down, hit that subscribe button, man. It's all love. Be sure to like the live, man. Go and push that like button for me so we can make that YouTube algorithm spin. Y'all already know how it works, man. But we speaking on true facts here. We speaking on true facts here. We ain't talking about nothing that ain't worth talking about. Because at the end of the day, it could be your child. At the end of the day, it could be your daughter. Some old man trying to persuade your daughter. Come on, man. If the father was paying attention, this would never happen. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Off in the church. That's the sad thing about it. Off in the church. They was taking this baby to Sunday school, and he was praying for the little girl and all this old stuff, man, off inside the church. What was going on before she turned 18? That's what you really have to ask yourself. That's what you really have to ask yourself. What was going on between these two before she turned 18? Can you tell me? Common sense? Can you tell me? Common sense, can you tell me what was going on with them before the young lady turned 18, before she was legally old enough to get married at 18. What was going on with them before she turned 18? What about when she was 17? What about when she was 16, 15, 14, 13, 12? You don't know how long this man had his eye on that baby. We don't wrestle against flesh and blood, but spiritual wickedness and powers of the enemy. You got it, Patrice. You got it, Patrice. Huh. Yeah, Miss Patrice, I appreciate that comment. Appreciate the comment. That's what we war against. The spiritual, we warn against the spiritual wickedness, man. The evil that's going on in the world today. And what's crazy is that we grew up reading this Bible, right? Going to church, gathering all this information. And then once all this stuff starts happening, it seems that the people get lost and they can't recognize what the scripture is telling us. They can't recognize what the scripture has already said was going to happen, the prophecy. They forgot about the prophecy. So we living in a day and time where these people, they not even keeping their eyes open to the prophecy. They just going along with the flow. Going along with the flow. And for these type of things to happen, for this stuff to happen, people are just going on with the flow. Right in front of your face. Mr. Rodney Stewart. Yes, sir. Right in front of your face, man. Right in front of y'all face, man. Right in front of your face. And it's sad to see when the young get affected by the evildoers inside the church house. The church house is supposed to be the sacred place. The church house is supposed to be the sacred place. According to history, Mary is about 13 years old when she gave birth to Jesus Christ. Huh? Did a man take advantage? Did a man take advantage of Mary, brother? Come on, man, make it make sense. We are talking about the flesh. The flesh, right? A young lady has been taken advantage of by the pastor of the congregation. And it's certain people like the one that left that comment trying to justify, trying to come up with a reason to make this morally okay. To make it morally okay. I understand. It's a lot of rituals that go on in the world. This young dude said that in the Hispanic culture that they had the quinceañera when the young lady turns 15 to let you know that she's ready for marriage. But is she? Is she? Is she though? We talking about morals here. We talking about morals here, man. And if you try to come up with any kind of reason to justify this behavior, that's a red flag that you should check yourself. That's a red flag that you should check yourself, man. Because morally, this thing is not okay. No matter how you spin it, twist it, flip it, it's not okay, brother. And I just want to give a shout out to the people that got a moral mind frame. I want to give a shout out to the people that have that wisdom up there, that understand where I'm going with this conversation, that understand the conversation that we are having. We're not justifying that type of behavior. And see, that's what's wrong with the world today. So many things get justified. So many things get justified. And these things should not be justified at all. These things shouldn't be justified at all because they're not right. How you going to justify that something that's so wrong, that's so morally wrong? You know, come on, man, let's talk about it. We're living in the last days. Yes, we are, Miss Watson. If you believe in God, you also try to keep yourself to the rules. Yes, yes. These pastors in these congregations, if you really believe in God, you need to try to keep yourself aligned with the rules and the scriptures, right? Yes, I'm in agreement with you. Appreciate you, Miss Edmund, Miss Patrice. What's going on, man? Hey, man, if y'all haven't hit that like button, go make sure you hit that like button, man. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, man. We speaking on the truth here. A lot of people like to follow foolishness. But when something real comes around, I notice that some people don't know how to handle that. It seems foreign that people speak on the truth nowadays. I get so much backlash for speaking on the truth nowadays. Like this pastor marrying that 18-year-old girl. It ain't right. No matter how you spin it, no matter how you twist it, no matter how one slices it, it's not okay. No, it ain't, Mr. Martin. David D, what's the live about? The live is about this 63-year-old pastor marrying this 18-year-old girl in the congregation, a young lady that came up in his congregation, came up in his church since she was a young girl. She turned 18 and he married her. So what was he doing with her before she turned 18? So when she turned 18, he said, oh man, I think I'm in love with this girl. When she turned 18, she say, oh, I'm in love with him too. No, what was going on before that? Yeah. Scooters, foolishness is promoted nowadays, and the good things are always hard to find. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We're definitely in the end right now. Yeah. I mean, it's right in front of our eyes, man. A lot of things going on right in front of our eyes, man. And you really gotta have a spiritual mind frame, man. Some type of wisdom upstairs, some type of righteousness still in your heart to activate your moral characteristics. You know what I'm saying? And it really speaks about your character. You know, if you try to justify this behavior, it speaks and it really identifies your moral character. If you're saying that this is okay, if you think this is okay, what else do you think that's okay that's going on in the world? We have to protect our babies, man. We have to protect them. What was going on? Does anyone know? I done said it before, man. The pastor of the congregation, man, he groomed this young lady, this young lady that grew up in this church since she was about 8, 9 years old. And then she turned 18 and he married her. You know, so my thoughts and opinions is like, what was going on before she turned 18? Is this right? I guess I got to ask this question again. Is it right? Is it morally right? Where is the girl's mothers? I don't think this young lady had any parents, man. I think this young lady was taken in by the church because she didn't have anyone. I think like the live stream on the top right, on the right phone. Like I don't think that this young lady had anyone, man. I don't think she had anyone, man. Make sure y'all hit that like button, man, to keep this thing spinning around, to keep this thing, let this YouTube algorithm know that we speaking on truth over here. Yeah, let the YouTube algorithm know we speaking on truth over here. Hit that like button, man. Hit that subscribe button. But at the end of the day, morally, it's not right. I don't care how anybody tries to defend it. I don't care anybody how they try to slice it up and dice it up. It's not right. This young 18-year-old girl, they let this young girl down off of the church. The people in that church, the people in that congregation let this young lady down. She had a mother that yields to the pastor. And that's another example. Some of these people are so pastor crazy. Some of these people are so pastor crazy that they'll do and allow anything that the pastor does and believe that it's okay. Yep. No, her dad and mom was there. Her mom disagreed, but her dad agreed. Now, ain't that a shame? Ain't that a shame? Conflict everywhere. Conflict everywhere. The dad, he must have got some money or something. Yeah. He must have had some kind of thing going on with that pastor of the church. Him and Mr. Dwight Reed and had some kind of business affair or something going on for the daddy to say that's okay for him to marry the pastor of the church and he's 63 and his daughter 18. Y'all hear that? They said the mom disagreed, but the daddy agreed with it. The daddy allowed it. It was conflict there. So you meaning to tell me that this young lady had both her parents? It's always in our black community, correct? But it's a lot going on in all the churches too. So I just want to say that. I don't want to just put it on us. But you mean to tell me that this young lady had both her parents taking her to church for all these years, this pastor preaching to her for all these years, and she going up, she's 18 years old now, and that pastor says, man, I want to marry your daughter. No. I want y'all to put yourself in that situation. This is what I want you to do. Put yourself in that situation right there. You taking your baby to church, right? You taking your baby to church. You and your wife taking your little girl to church. You know, y'all been a part of this church for 10, 20 years, right? You taking your little girl to church. Your daughter finally hits 18. And the pastor say, hey, man, I want to marry your, this 63-year-old pastor says, hey, man, I want to marry your daughter, man. What? What? How does that? Man, if that daddy didn't immediately catch an attitude, he got some wrongdoings that he's doing too. Yeah. He got something going on within himself too. For him to say, yeah, oh, yeah. He on some funny business too. So I ain't gonna get that, the daddy allowed, yeah, the daddy had some funny business going on too. For the daddy to sit back and allow that, yeah, he had some funny things going on with him too. Yeah, and we know it. We're going to use common sense here. If you're not going to use common sense here, man, go and click off the live right now. We're using common sense here. Nothing but common sense. That's what we're using with. I don't play about my daughter, Ruby answered. Nope, you shouldn't. You shouldn't play about none of your children, man. I believe that's so misleading. I believe that's so misguiding when you allow this young 18-year-old girl to marry this 63-year-old man. I believe that's so misguiding. That ain't love. That's lust. That ain't love. That's lust, man. How can a 63-year-old man say that he's in love with an 18-year-old girl? This young 18, because I'm gonna tell you something. I'm about to say something right here. A real man is attracted to, a real man will fall in love with a real woman. Yeah, a real man ain't gonna fall in love with no young girl. A real woman, a real man is not gonna fall in love with no young girl. It just ain't gonna happen. A real man is attracted to a real woman. A grown woman. That's what a real man is attracted to. A real man will look at a young 18-year-old girl like that's his daughter. A real man will see a young 18-year-old girl and look at her like his daughter. But see, that's when the perverted ones come in. Yeah. That's when the perverted ones come in. Oh, she grown. Man, some of these dudes lost their mind, man. Come on, man. That's Satan at work, man. I'm telling you, right in the church house too. In the church house too. He was perverted. Yes, Miss Patrice Edmond. Miss Patrice, you know I'm going to tell it. You know I'm going to talk that talk, girl. I'm going to talk that talk, girl. A real man is attracted to a real woman, not some 18-year-old girl. I don't care. Married at 18, meaning dating at 17 or younger, sick as nobody randomly gets married to a young stranger at 18th birthday. Right. That's all I'm saying. Troy, Mr. Troy Lynn, that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying, man. Come on, we got to make it make sense out here. We grown. I don't believe there's no kids on this live feed. I ain't seen no kids off in the comments. I done seen some comments that didn't make sense, from some grown people that maybe they ain't right all the way up here. But we grown in this comment. We grown here. Frontal lobe ain't even developed yet at 18. Talk to him. You so right. Okay, Miss Jackson. Listen, man, we just keeping it real. That's all we doing. We keeping it real here, man. We not on no BS. We not talking no nonsense. And if you think this is nonsense, go on click off. Yeah, we got to protect our babies. Yeah, we got to start protecting these young girls. Yeah, even in the church house we see. Because the Satan in the church house, he there. He been grooming that baby for a long time, and I'm getting so, yeah, I know it. I know it. That's why I had to get on here and say something, Miss Hall. Miss Hall. Girl, that's why I had to get on here and say something, Auntie. Auntie. And my auntie, Miss Hall, I had to get on here and say something because I was bothered by it that much. I kept seeing it. I say, nah. I felt like I wasn't doing my moral characteristics, righteousness duty by not saying something, man. You know, all these men help. The devil is alive in church. Oh, yes, he is. Miss Bradley, yes, there is. Do you think he's going to go to jail for that? Well, Miss Watson, legally, he can't. That's just how the law broke it down. And that's how people are justifying it. You know, that's how people are justifying it because by law, ain't nothing they can do. 18, she's considered an adult. At 18, she's considered an adult. So he can't go to jail. You know, he can't go to jail. I mean, only thing that could happen that I can see, if there was any kind of evidence of him messing with her prior. But as we see, the people in that congregation, they're applauding this. The people in that congregation are allowing this. So they wouldn't be no help in the investigation on what was going on before she was legally able to get married to this man. See, so legally, she's married. 18, but that don't make it right morally, and we all know that. The grown people that are here on this live feed, I'm talking to the grown people that are here in this live feed. Morally, we know. Morally, come on, man, morally, we know that ain't right. We know that ain't right morally, man. And I do this for my babies. Yep, I do this for my daughter that's on the inside right now. Yep, I do that. I do it for her because when I seen this story, I thought of her. Yeah, I thought of her, man. And also, I got another daughter. I got two daughters. I got one that's 10. She about to be 11. Yeah, I got one that's 17 right now. And ain't no way in hell that I would allow. You hear me? Ain't no way I would allow something like this to go on. Okay, so whose law did they transgress and what will be the adverse outcome because of it? Listen, man, in the state of Texas, I know for sure. You know, I could be wrong about other states, but in the state of Texas, at 18, you're considered an adult. You got to stay on point with your daughters. Duck tape. Yes, sir. You got to stay on point with your daughters, man. That's why I don't sugarcoat nothing with my daughters. You know, I give them the real game of life. You know, I try to give them and show them the real game of life and break it down to them. And have them on guard, have them on watch, dealing with these young boys and dealing with these older men that are in the world that they may come across. You know, so they'll be able to recognize it. You know what? My daddy told me about this. My daddy told me that y'all would try this. My daddy told me all these things. So when they happen, and when my daughters, when they get in these situations, they'll remember. Oh, that's a red flag. My daddy told me about you. Yeah, my daddy told me about you. Sir, get away from me, sir. You know what I'm saying? My daddy done already, he done already told me about some of these perverted men that will come my way. Get away from me, sir. That's all I'm saying, man. Even at 18, 6'3" is still wrong. I'm 26 and I don't have nothing in common with an 18-year-old. Exactly. What does a grown man have in common with a young lady? What does a grown this young lady just graduated high school, man. She just graduated high school. And it don't make no sense, man. It don't make no sense. And you got some people that's justifying it, man. And I'm glad that some of the people that was justifying it in the comments have left. Yeah. I'm glad that the people that was justifying it in the comments has left. He had no business talking to her at the age of 18 and he's 63. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. Hey, OG, how are you? I remember you from way back. You always had wisdom in you. Remember that day you told us how you lost? What? Man, see that. There's another one. Tyrone Bricks. There's another dumb comment, y'all. We dealing with people like this in our society, right? Mr. Tyrone Bricks. Y'all go read Mr. Tyrone Bricks. Go read this comment. We dealing with this type of people in our society. When our children walk out the front door, when our children are off inside this world, they're going to run across people like that. You know, they're going to run across in our home. What we're doing, we're preparing our children for the world. That's what we're doing. In our home, we're preparing our children for the world. And every day that they walk out that door, every single day that our kids walk outside that door, they're going to be exposed to a lot of evilness. They're going to be exposed to a lot of wickedness. They're going to be exposed to a lot of people that might not be right up here. They might be exposed to people that are not right in here. Yeah, they're going to be exposed to these people, right? So we got to protect them. We got to lead them. We got to guide them. We got to tell them about things. Nowadays, the internet is raising the babies. Nowadays, the children are getting their guidance and following rap stars. They're following the internet and what's going on with the internet and stuff like that. So they lost already. So we got to get back to being great mentors. We got to get back to being great parents. We got to get back to being great protectors, providers, leaders, and all that good stuff, man. Don't let the world swallow our babies up. Don't let the world take advantage of our babies, man. Crazy how some people think, and you call yourself a grown up. That's what I'm saying here, man. We're living in a world where some of these so-called grown-ups, man, they don't have it up here. They worse than some of the adolescents that's growing up. You got some adults out here today that are worse than some of the adolescents growing up. Pure facts. I already know it. I already know it. I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you. Y'all know what's going on out here, man. I just want to give a special shout out. I just want to send a special thanks to all the grown folks that act morally. They got a good character. They got some wisdom up here. That can think, that can function and operate as an adult. Morally, wisdom. See, people think being grown is an age thing. I know a lot of people of age. I know a lot of people of age. Y'all listening to me? That ain't grown up here. Yeah, I know a lot of people of age that are grown of age, but they not grown up here. That's all I'm saying. And we got this 63-year-old pastor married this 18-year-old girl, and some people justify it. The ladies in the church, you go watch the video. If y'all haven't watched the video, man, after this live feed, go to my channel and watch the latest video I uploaded. Y'all see the thumbnail. Y'all see it. Be sure to like and all that stuff. But go watch the video and listen to Pastor Dwight Reed tried to justify this, but this is what I want y'all to listen to. I want y'all to listen to some of the ladies of the congregation in the background, clapping and applauding, talking about, yes, Pastor, yes, Pastor. They justifying this grown pastor, her grandpa. This man old enough to be her grandpa. This man is old enough to be her grandpa. But go listen to these elder women in the church justifying it, applauding it, promoting it. It's crazy to me. That ain't nothing but the devil. Beverly Palmer, Miss Beverly Palmer, where you been at, sister? Where have you been, girl? Miss Beverly Palmer, OG and everybody, much love. Patricia Edmond, wow, I will listen. Yeah, Miss Edmond, man, go listen to it, man. In that video, man, I got the first part of the video where, you know, another pastor in Texas tried to develop a criminal investigation on Mr. Dwight Reed about this marriage, what was going on before the marriage. You know what I'm saying? So that's the first part of the video. That's probably like 2 or 3 minutes long. And then the second part is where Pastor Dwight Reed tries to defend himself in the church on a Sunday morning, in the pulpit, trying to defend himself, marrying this 18-year-old girl that came up in the church behind him. And you'll hear the ladies in the background, tell him, Pastor. Yeah, people clapping and applauding and stuff like that. Man, that's crazy. Miss Beverly Palmer with the grandkids. I hear you, girl, 24/7. Ain't nothing wrong with it. You got to guide them babies. You got to protect them babies, Miss Beverly Palmer. Yeah, it's crazy out here. That's good you was with them grandbabies. They wasn't in the streets nowhere. They wasn't being mistreated. You know, they was with you. They had that love. Keep it coming. Devil in the church and everywhere. Yeah. Yeah, man, the devil is in the church. He's everywhere. He is everywhere. And nowadays people are like blind to it, bruh. I don't understand how our society became so blind. How they come so blind to the devil and the things that are going on in the world and the wickedness and the evilness. And now it's starting to pop up in the churches and people still can't see it for what it is. People still can't believe that this evil wickedness will arise up, just like the Bible talked about, right? People go to church for all these years. People read their Bibles every day, right? And the Bible speaking, it's going to become a time. There's going to come a time when all this evilness will rise up, right? Now's that time. That time is now. Yeah, that time is now. That time was yesterday, 10 years ago, 20 years ago. That time is now. We living in that time. The prophecies. We living in that time, man. And people need to really take heed of what's going on. People, he's speaking the truth. Appreciate you, Michael. Listen, man, we need to take heed to what's really going on nowadays. And the reason they are not reading, I don't think they're reading. Miss Watson, I don't think they're reading. I don't think they're reading it. Because if they reading it, they ain't taking it all in. If they are reading that Bible, they not taking it all in. I don't know what they're doing. I don't know what they're doing. They going to church. We're going to church Monday. We're going to church Wednesday. We're going to church Thursday. We're going to church Sunday. We're having Bible study tonight at Sister Clarice's house. If you're doing all that, how are you so still spiritually blinded? Tell me that. If you're doing all that, how are you so still spiritually blinded to the fact that Satan is right in front of you? When you go to, man, you got to make it make sense to me, man. That's all I'm saying. That is all I'm saying. You have to make it make sense. And if you can't make it make sense, you need to shut that down. Yeah, you need to shut that down if you can't make it make sense. And I just want to speak on the truth of things, the facts and all the stuff that's going on. That's what I'm speaking on. That's the conversation I want to have. I want to talk to other grown folks and we can sit down and have a conversation about what's morally right. And if anybody justifies this type of behavior with this 60-year-old preacher marrying this 18-year-old girl, then you can't have an adult mind frame. You can't be having adult moral characteristics. You can't. There just ain't no way. I don't care how you spin it or twist it and dice it up. Oh, she 18, she legally. Man, look. Man, 1 times 1 equals 2. Because we are the church, we are God's temple, and the other church is a building. No need, you're trying to justify a pedo. Yeah, man, for real, man, they trying to justify, man, it ain't right. It's not right. Miss Roy Smith say, stop people need to stop playing with God and practice what they preach. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am, Miss Rose. Yes, ma'am, Miss Rose, especially when you got the pastors, the leaders of the church that's doing these type of things, man. And I don't want to get off topic here just because, you know, anybody else that jumps into the live, but you have other pastors that are doing the same exact thing, if not worse. You got pastors taking advantage of the elderly in the church, you know, taking all their money. You got pastors in the church that are homosexuals. Yes, sir. Part of the alphabet community. You know what I'm saying? I always try to say LGB, whatever, you know, they're part of that community. The pastors. Now, how can a pastor, right? How can a pastor of the church announce that he's a homosexual and that introduce y'all to his gay lover? How can a pastor of the church do that? If that ain't a red flag, come on, man. If that ain't a red flag, I don't know what is. Oh, this is my, yeah, me and him got married. I'm gonna tell y'all something. Everybody applauded. Not everybody. I wasn't one of them. Everybody applauded Mr. Obama when he legalized same-sex marriage. Not knowing he was only doing it for the votes. He was only doing it for the votes to get those people to come in and vote. Oh, we voting for Mr. Barack Obama. When he did that, I knew it was some wickedness in play. Oh yeah, I saw that pitiful. Yeah, I knew it was some wickedness in play when President Obama signed into law, into bill, same-sex marriage. When they draped the rainbow flag over the White House, when they draped that rainbow flag in front of the White House, I knew that it was some evilness in play. I knew it was some wickedness in play. I knew that Satan had really penetrated America, and America will never be the same after that. I don't care what no one says. I don't care what no one says. America will never be the same ever again once we allowed that. Sodom and Gomorrah? Huh? You want to go back to the Bible? Sodom and Gomorrah? Somebody go read it. Read what happened to them. Fire brimstone. Why you think America been going down lately? Yeah. Why do you think America been going down lately, man? Because we're allowing this type of behavior. We're allowing this type of behavior to go on. That's why America is in the situation that America is in right now, because we're allowing this type of behavior to go on. One you call that Diddy's party with me, Real and Justin Bieber. See, you got individuals still making dumb comments like that. You got individuals outside that we go amongst on in the world that think like that. You got to pay attention to what you're dealing with. You got to pay attention to what you're dealing with here. You got to pay attention to what's going on around you. You got to pay attention to all these things. And a lot of people in the church house, man, a lot of people in the church house, they're not praising God anymore. A lot of people in the church house, they're praising the pastor. A lot of people in the church house, they're not worshiping God no more. They're worshiping the pastor. They're worshiping the pastor, man. And let me tell y'all something. If you want to find out a person's true character, give them money and power. You will find out exactly who they are. You will find out exactly who they are, man. Hey, if y'all haven't hit that like button, man, make sure y'all reach down, hit that like button. If y'all like what's real, if you like what's real, make sure you hit that like button, man. If you haven't subscribed, go on, hit that subscribe button, man. Subscribe to my channel. We keep it real like this 24/7, all day, every day. We inspire the truth, man. We inspire the truth. So if you haven't hit that like button, if you like the truth, man, go on, hit that like button. We keep it real around here, man. We keep it real around here. We don't run with none of that BS. We don't run with none of that BS. If you defend that type of behavior, that's a clear red flag. That's a clear red flag that you're not operating and that something is wrong up here with you and you're an adult. To justify the marriage of this 18-year-old girl with this 63-year-old pastor of her church. Of her church, man. Are you kidding me here? Of her church. And you're speaking the truth, brother. Appreciate it, man. Keep speaking the truth. Appreciate it, bro. Francis, he said you're a hater. Hater for what? So you got people like that, Mr. Francis. Y'all look at Mr. Francis' comment. Y'all take a look at Mr. Francis' comment. So you got grown people that still think like that. You got grown people that still think like that. And that's why I decided to do this live. Mr. Francis, people that still think and operate on that level, those are the people that we send our children out into the world, and our children are going to come across people like that. This young lady, the people in that congregation, they let that young lady die. When that young lady was out in the world, that's what was going on with her. Nobody looked out for her. She ran into a 63-year-old man, 60-year-old man that groomed her. And now look, he married her when she turned 18. He said, you don't support people who love people of same sex. No, I don't support that, brother. Does Jesus support it? Does God support it? I can't support it. I can't support it, Mr. Francis. Y'all hear that? Mr. Francis. Mr. Francis, I don't support it. That's what's going on in the world today. The worst thing you can have is a young feminized boy. That's the worst thing that can go on with a young man, is for him to be feminized. Mr. Patrick, God made us all. Let me tell you something. Yeah, God made us all, but he gave us all free will. Yeah, God made us all, Mr. Francis, but he gave us all free will. And God spoke about this homosexuality stuff off inside the Bible, Mr. Francis. Yeah. He destroyed the whole city because of homosexuality, Mr. Francis. So when you get on here talking like that, Mr. Francis, it not only shows that you're mentally lost, it not only shows, Mr. Francis, that you're scripturally lost. That's what that shows. And that it only shows that the evil one is with you, Mr. Francis. And you're even blinded to it. You don't even know it, Mr. Francis. For you to, everybody pay attention to Mr. Francis' comments. He's lost. Black sheep, I missed the convo. Oh yeah, you missed the convo, baby. We've been conversating for an hour, over an hour and a half already. That's the truth. I'm sick of that punk. Yeah, man. He said, girl, this dude, some people are just lost. The only thing to do is pray for them. They don't have eyes to see or ears to hear. No, ma'am, they don't. You're right about that. You're right about that. You right about Mr. Francis. You need some love. I got all the love I need, baby. I got a wife inside. I got kids, man. You know, I got all the love I need. God been loving me for so long, man. God done brought me through the storm, man. That's all the love that I need right there. I don't need none of that alphabet love, man. No, that ain't for me, man. No, baby. No LGBTQ. No, none of the alphabet love. I'm cool on that. And man, those people. I tell people all the time. I want to tell y'all about the story, right? Y'all bear with me a little bit. I know we didn't got off topic, but anybody that's just joining the live feed, man, we've been talking about the pastor, 63-year-old pastor married an 18-year-old girl. But we're gonna get off topic a little bit because this young man, Mr. Francis, has got in the comments trying to justify and take up for, you know, same-sex marriages, right? So I want to tell y'all something about this, right? There was a time, right, when this young girl, she was a stud, she was a dyke, right? And she got into this real bad, and I'm not justifying this is a mental condition, because Mr. Francis said that God made everybody, right? But yeah, he gave us free will, but this is a mental condition. I tell everybody that's homosexual, it's a mental condition. Telling you, this young lady, she was a stud, she was a dyke, and she got in a real bad car accident, right? And bumped her head, right? I'm talking to Mr. Francis, y'all. If y'all haven't seen Mr. Francis comments, yeah. But how y'all doing out there? Yeah, that my baby, my daughter just came home. Yeah, my 18-year-old daughter just came home. But anyway, what I was saying was this young lady, she was a stud, she was a dyke, right? And she got into this real bad car accident, bumped her head. She was in a coma for a while, right? When she came out of the coma, yes, when this young lady came out of the coma, she didn't even know that she was gay. She didn't even know that she was a homosexual. These people was trying to tell her this, and that, and she didn't believe it. She didn't believe. They were showing her pictures. They were showing her videos. And some of the people that came around that she used to miss, some of the young girls that she used to be doing homosexual acts with and all this stuff, they came around trying to convince her. She's like, nah, that ain't me. She said, nah, that ain't me. So in my common sense mind, I said, that's a mental condition. Ain't nobody going gay. Nah. Just like they born with all these other mental conditions and stuff like that, homosexuality, that's a mental condition. Yeah, that's what that is, Mr. Francis. That's what that is. Y'all see, Mr. Francis, we got people in the world. When we send our children out into the world, they gonna bump into people like Mr. Francis. They gonna bump into people like that. And that's what we have to protect our children from. That's what we have to protect our children from. It's a demonic condition. Yes, it is, ma'am. Yes, it is, ma'am. Very. That's a cool hat, bro. Appreciate it, man. Mr. Francis. Mr. Francis. All right, whatever. We done with Mr. Francis, y'all. But like I was saying, man, we got to protect our babies from people like that. We have to. Because, and this the thing about it, they blend in. You don't know nobody's true intentions. They blend in. And then they tap. They blend in, man. Blend in. Francis likes, man, listen, man. That's a great way to explain that God didn't make men for men, women. They know that the chosen. Yeah, man. Free will, man. Free will. God give them free will, man. I told him, man, that homosexuality stuff, that is a mental condition, man. That is, man, don't even feed in with Mr. Francis, y'all. Y'all just let Mr. Francis be. Y'all don't even reply to Mr. Francis' comments. Just let Mr. Francis be. You know what I'm saying? He lost in the sauce, baby. He lost in the sauce, baby. But like I was saying, we have to get back on a moral, righteous path and not allow things to go on like this. We have to get back to the truth. We have to get back to what's right. Because nowadays, everything that's wrong is being promoted. Nowadays, everything that ain't right for you is being promoted. Nowadays, Everything that is not morally right is being promoted. And then you got people like me that get up, stand up, and speak on the truth. And many people think it's weird because to them, it's like an alien. The truth is like an alien on earth now today. And many people are offended by the truth. Many people are offended by the truth. But that don't mean that we got to stop digging that truth out, man. Listen, man, if y'all haven't liked this video, man, make sure you tap down and hit that like button, man. Make sure y'all like the video, man. Make sure y'all hit that subscribe button. Make sure y'all do all that good stuff, man. We just keeping it real around here. Yeah, that's how we doing. We just keeping it real around here. Why does God keep creating homosexuality? That's the thing. We gonna jump on that now. Okay, let's have a discussion about that then. Let's talk. Because God ain't creating no homosexuals. I don't care what you say, brother, how you spin or twist that. So did God create serial killers? Did God create man, come on now. That's all free will stuff. That is all free will stuff. He gave us a free will. God ain't creating that. When you're born out into this world, the things that you're exposed to, the things that you're around, the people and the other spirits that come around, these demonic spirits, they attach themselves. These mental conditions, they attack themselves. That's why you got to be on guard. What do he say? You got to put on the full armor of God. You got to put on the full armor of God. Come on, man. We're going to keep it real around here. We're going to keep it real around here, man. Put on the full armor of God, because when you birthed into this world, that's why you got to have parents to lead you and guide you in the right direction, a right spiritual teacher. You see what I'm saying? You need all this type of guidance when you're coming into this world, because this world is full of demonic spirits that try to attach their self to you. You feel what I'm saying? That's what happens. That's why we got to guide the babies. That's how this young 18-year-old girl ended up marrying this 63-year-old man for no guidance. For no guidance, man. You know what I'm saying? That's how this ended up happening. She didn't have no type of guidance. That's why this young lady ended up marrying this 63-year-old man. That's why she was taken advantage of by this 63-year-old man, because the lack of guidance, man. Come on, man. That's what's going on out here. That's what's going on out here, man. But I'm about to get ready to end this live, man. I want to thank all y'all, man, for tuning in. I want to thank all y'all for hitting that like button. If you haven't hit the like button, make sure you reach down and hit that like button. If you enjoy real talk, make sure you hit that like button. If you enjoy real talk, make sure you hit that subscribe button, man. Subscribe to my channel. We keep it real like this every single time. We don't beat around no corner. We don't beat around the bush. We don't sugarcoat nothing. We just keep it real. That's what we do. We keep it real, man. That's how I go down the hill. Peace, love, and blessings to all y'all, man. Peace, love, and blessings to all y'all. Hope I see y'all on the next live. Boom. God bless you.